and we're taking vow to God. And Muslim or you're a Christian, you're taking vow to God to support that woman, to forgive, to forget, to this. And these pastors read all these things. When something happens, we don't even remember them. We just take actions of her as a man or that as a woman. Because as a woman too, it's the thing, oh, there could be other opportunities out there. Because when we start, we're married, is the wife and the husband, or the man and the woman. It's beautiful, it's nice. Once you start having one kid, then your work schedule has to start questioning. Who will drop the kid? Who will buy this? Who will go shopping? When will the child be? Who will take the child to the playground, to cinema or something? And then the second kicks in because the mother will say, oh, you're only having one child. Are you a man or are you just have one child? And then as both of us, we had three. And then that's where we stop. But again, the pressure of bringing the children is an issue. And the children also, for me and Tony, the peer pressure in colleges, in learning institutions is heavy.
Oh dear.
Really heavy. And they will come home, they will be in another mood. How do you get them to talk? How do you understand your child or your children? Because you make one mistake, somebody will take them out on the street. You make one mistake, they'll go out because we see the peer pressure in colleges. Now this vape thing is coming up. If they have like a gang of three and one is not vaping, the other is vaping, they will provoke you. You're not a man, you're doing this. Eventually, maybe they'll bring you to it. And then what they have in their drugs and this and that. So their learning or education is questioned. So as I think it's just understanding, not only the between the man and the woman, even what you have in the children. Even the in-laws, it's oneness. One and one is one. My in-law talk, that's my husband. You just say, that's my wife. They are priority. We are away from you. I think it's just that we should look at the understanding. We're not perfect, but we can look. I'm only talking from the family side, and that we can, because the more we are happy, if we can happy with our partners, it translates in any other things we do in our businesses, our workplace, in our health, in other things we do. So I think the family side is just getting more understanding. I agree with you. That understanding is important. And look at our vows to work as one and be able to forgive and be able to forget and carry on.
That's very good. And I think, if you don't mind me saying this, that's in a perfect world. And you're living in a perfect world at the moment. Yeah. But unfortunately, some people started after you. Yeah. And their world is not as perfect as 30 years ago. You've been with your wife for 30 years. Shola's been with his wife for 25 years. And we know their ups and downs. I've been with mine for 21 years. Yeah. And we know there's ups and downs. But the challenge is there are things that are coming into play, like Joe says, social media. Yeah. Now, what people are now seeing as a perfect wife is not the perfect wife in those days. Yeah. In terms of the kind of things that are happening right now is like, if it's not working for you, change him. You understand? And the same thing, what men used to do, change. If it's not working, you change. It's working the other way around now. Yeah. And sometimes people are seeing Hollywood wives as the right kind of wife. Yeah. And then also when we're talking about men not talking, you're saying understanding. But if the men are not talking, how are you getting understanding? Because like you've heard some people here that have said that the reason why they don't talk is because it's used against them. Yeah. So how are we going to help these men that are not talking? Because whenever they talk and express something, it's being used against them. Yeah. You mentioned the fact that the focus on staying together. The focus is on being together, isn't it? Yeah. But that is not the focus nowadays these days. Yeah. The focus of staying together, and you mentioned the spiritual side, you mentioned the fact that, okay, our vows, we talk about for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. Now, guess what? All that has gone out the window because as soon as there's a dispute, somebody's talking about, I'm leaving you. As soon as there's something going wrong, someone's talking about whatever. So I'm just trying to add some fuel to the fire, because also this is also, because we're not talking, it's affecting our mental health. So I'm just saying that I'm adding some fuel to the fire because I know, Yaya, you're a great guy. I know you well. If I was a woman, I'd marry you too. Yola, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tony. You've mentioned some real poignant remarks there, and I think what is it, Yaya? Is it Yaya?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What Yaya said there before, what you said before about a perfect world. I think that perfect world then has got to have some kind of ripple effect. I think this
Mm.
is one of the solutions. We have a ripple effect down through the system, then down through society, and I think the way we do that is by being consistent in our approach to things, to life. For example, what we're doing here now, we don't want to hopefully not see a stop-start scenario. You know what I mean? If there's something like this has started, this is the first one tonight. If there's something that if it continues, if we're being intentional, we're being positive, and we know that look, there isn't that one answer. There isn't that one size fits all scenario going on. That's fake. So I think in terms of continuity is key. And we talked about social media, the effect that it's having on our young people per se. It's also having an effect on adults. And so, if you have a playing field where we're just concentrating on sort of lamenting about what younger people are doing and so forth, and we're not addressing the areas, again, going back to the home. That's what I mentioned before, that the first school, I believe, is the home. Yeah, because what any of us, we're all children, we didn't learn to speak in school, we learned to speak at home. We didn't learn to walk in school, we learned to walk at home. We learned to eat at home, right? We learned to do all the basics in the house. And so I don't think it's such a bad thing of, saying that's a perfect world, Tony. I think it's a case of, letting there be some kind of ripple effect. A few, starts to gather momentum, starts to gather that kind of momentum and starts to really have a ripple effect down the line. You know what I mean? Other guys can join, other guys can start to hear a bit of a different mindset. Hopefully that starts to affect, we go into school. Like, for example, I mentioned to you, Tony, I don't know what the other guys know. Through my mentoring practice, we're actually now going into schools. We have access, for example, to 50 schools. Now imagine if we're having these kind of discussions in 50 schools. It's got, whatever maths you want to do, there's got to be some kind of impact made, yes? And so I think it's from that perspective that, there's a ripple effect going on. There's a change going on. You said you're Tony, you're the game changer. Let's be prayerful that this
Game
be the game
challenger.
changer.
Game challenger. Challenger.
The game challenger. Sorry, the game challenger. Okay, the game challenger. Game
So I'm
challenger.
challenging you all here.
Yeah. And it's great. It's great. I think this is much needed. It's very refreshing.
Yeah.
It gets our thinking caps on, and makes us even sort of reflect on areas as you had said in terms of maybe what we've done wrong in the past and where we've dropped the ball, and then how we can use that experience to mentor and advise and guide other people.
So thanks a lot, Dylan. Joseph, do you want to say anything on that note? You're on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's an epidemic. I know it sounds a little bit positive, negative. Yeah, with relationship, and the way our kids interact with the technologies that are around that are affecting. One study shows that long hours on a screen could fry your brain. Our wives, our girlfriend, or whatever, are addicted to these devices. Yeah, and kids nowadays don't, because they use the device so much. They're even thinking of banning mobile phone in further education and higher education, which I've been involved for over 30 years. Yeah, in terms of what it's doing to the kids. PlayStation, like those kids will grow up and have relationships, and they don't know how to socialize or interact. Even my son, a middle son, his grandmother is saying he doesn't know how to socialize because I've been trying to cut him down from the mobile phone, linked to his mobile phone to see what he's chatting about. And it's always these information filling his mind, and also our wives, our girlfriends too, So it's not just, yes, it is understanding. It is having one, but there's so many issues that we've got to solve in order to get a perfect relationship. I think this, as I said in the beginning of my discussion, there's so many variables to this. Our relationship affects our mental health. What we eat affects our mental health. Our environment affects our mental health.
Yeah.
you know, and if you have a good understanding with your wife, or she's got wisdom, she'll understand this. But not everyone is aware of this issue.
Well, I want to just open it up to the rest of the guys because we're wrapping up soon. So just anything else that you wanted to say? I mean, obviously the topic is why do men not talk, and is there a reason? Also, is it how is it affecting our mental health, whether it's positive or negative? These are things that we need to address. So, and then also some of you have mentioned why you don't talk, but can you have you picked up one or two things that you might actually ask us some questions, or some things that you already got from here that you might actually now use or try and use to strengthen your mental health? Because what we want to do is to strengthen our mental health. And as Shola says, this is the beginning. Because at the end of the day, we say, why do men not talk? We're talking right now, yeah? And we just need to continue this conversation at a later date, yeah? But just keep on and then bring more people in to the fold so that therefore their mental state can improve. Because I believe just by talking, it improves your mental state. If someone's going through problems, just by talking about it, yeah? I mean, sometimes you want to talk, like we always say, someone said it before, your number one person to talk to is your wife. But what happens if your wife's not talking to you? So what next? But let's, Charlotte, I'm going to come to you at the end, but let's see if Hero, Greg, Sinatu, Beardo, who we haven't spoken. Do you want to just say one or two things?
Mr. Hero. Okay.
Hero, over to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's been a wonderful evening. And like you said, just by talking about it, we get refreshed. There's a lot of deep things. My problem is that a lot of people live in the smoke screen. A lot of things are going wrong in marriages. Even the ones who think they are perfect, they are not perfect. And we that are starting up, we need a lot of guidance, you know, because I don't think anybody marries their wife and hoping that one day they're going to divorce or put it in the diary. But this thing happens. This happens. And at a point, you find out that there are things you wish that you could have controlled, but you don't even have the capacity. You don't even know it was a problem. A woman can actually have issues with you, and you think she might be thinking that you know, but you don't know. You know, how will you now react to something you don't know? Just tell me what is the problem. He said you should have known. You should have known. So there's a lot of issues we need to talk about because this is not easy. It's not easy to live with a woman who doesn't. You want to understand somebody who doesn't understand themselves. You know, they have phases in the month that their mood swings. So I think it's a good one that we have started. And this year alone, 3 of my friends attempted suicide. One succeeded. So I think it's something that we should talk more about because I've experienced it firsthand. Thank you so much for putting it together. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. So,
Tony, sorry, if I want to quickly come in and look at another area that is causing men not to talk or disadvantages to men are regulations, rules and regulations set by government that doesn't look at background issues and other things. And it don't only affect, for example, these rights of men and women and how things are done. It's causes where men, even if you want to talk, you can, because you know if you say something, it's always turned against you. If you see your kids doing certain things, you cannot say nothing. You know, even if you try, you don't. I've seen friends whose children have been the other side. They cannot say. They cannot change them. You know, I saw friends, men who are husbands, he cannot show anything to the woman because she's there and she thinks she will lose everything if the woman takes him to court or anything. And he's lived a life over 60 or coming to 70. And this is where it gets worse. Again, if you look at the age bracket where it really gets worse because preparation were not done or things were not done. So I think we should look at regulations again that it affects why men don't talk, and then the things that will be said against them, because whatever happens, they will come and say the woman has the right. You know, you hit him, you hit her, you this or that, and then it will affect you. So they'll just sit down. Even with the kids say, I'm over 18, I can do what I want. You know, you want to you will say that. So I believe again the rules and the regulations affect on men.
I'd just like to add to that. Yeah, you absolutely have hit the hammer on the nail. The divorce, during the divorce proceeding, during the any legal, it's been going on for 50 years or more. Year after year, they give more power to the women in a relationship or married and make it fundamentally easy for a woman to separate. A woman can then go and tell the authority. Yeah, your kids saying, I can do whatever I like. If you try to do anything, it's safeguard. If you do anything, many Nigerians, they come over here and bring the ideology of Nigeria here. You know, I could smack you, I could do anything to you. Yeah, but from that point of view, the law has something else to say regarding that, you know. So it gives them so much power and independence to do whatever they like without any control. That affects your health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and the relationship separation.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah. So thanks a lot.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Bearden, how you doing?
I'm okay. Thank God.
Good, good.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for all the mentor and all that. I've actually learned a lot, and I think the one I picked most that I feel suits both here and there is the communication and understanding. Because yeah, really, it's like two people coming together with different mentality and all that. But really, communication and understanding, I believe, goes a long way. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate because of what Mr. Shola mentioned earlier, that the law over there in UK gives the children and the wife more priority, more authority in the home. But still, I believe with communication, I still boil down to the fact that if there's an understanding and communication, you make the rule, look, this is what is important. Because at some point, we, like, I don't know if it was Mr. Shola also that mentioned that loneliness, that you back it up and say there are situations whereby the couples they're actually together, but they are separated because mentally, emotionally, it's like they're all alone, they don't talk. I think all of this has to do with the communication, because where is the joy when the couples don't communicate? So that means there's a disconnection already, and which is not good. But I think more even better if you have to nag at each other than just being quiet. You always try and speak up. Yes, I know they said men, we have to hold things to our head and all that, but seriously, if we keep doing that a lot, I think it's not going to help. That's why you have people like Hero mentioned, people trying to commit suicide, because when you see you're trying to think, you're not seeing a way out. So I still really hold on to that communication and understanding. And yeah, even if you look at on the religious aspect, God mentioned that marriage is legal too. It's not what he wants. Divorce is legal. It's not what he loves. But if you see that there's a disconnection, that you're not happy about it, it's best you come to the table. Look, if this is not working, rather than just living in bondage for the rest of your life. Because I can imagine someone in a home, married for about 40 to 50 years, and been living alone in a marriage that there is no communication, no understanding. That can be very devastating. These are things that will push someone to want to commit suicide. And at the end, that person loses. So the truth is, communication, I think, is key. And if you see, it's not working, it's just, it don't have to be in a violent place, way. Because the coming together, there was an agreement. We want to spend the rest of our life together. Okay, if you see it's not working, I think the best thing, you communicate and say, look, yeah, it's no harm. Seriously, it's just an emotional upset that won't last forever. There are broken homes that I've seen, even here in Nigeria. I was actually surprised. As a friend of mine, I never knew it was from a broken home, because I still see the parents together. It was later on he told me, my parents my mom is married to someone else, and the dad is married to someone, but they still communicate. They have a family meeting. Both parents comes together. So at least that, I think it's really still boils down to the communication and understanding. So I think that will help. That's what I think I grabbed the most, that I feel will go a long way for anyone. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Bearden. Well put. Yeah. Okay. Chinatu, you want to say something? Yeah.
I want to say something. Thank you so much for bringing up such meeting. The most important, I have laughed a lot tonight, and men, the reason why men don't open up, but now we can open up. You can see there is a good environment. You can see there is a soft landing. So when men, we as God, the way God created us, is created us in the way that we will have a good environment. we can able to explore to, bring out our talent. Something happened to me, and it's a life experience, and I know it's a painful one, but I have to say it because we are men, we are matured, and I'm learning. So I've been in a relationship, for 5 years with a girl, and something happened. I found out that she's cheating on me. So when I went to repair her phone, and I found out some data information. So I was asking her, what is going on? Why are you doing this? She said to me, it's not intentional. That's the word she used. It's not intentional. So we talk about it, with hope that the understanding is there. But I don't know that women, when you hurt them, when you say something they don't like, they will hold it 50 years, 100 years, and on the fateful day, they will repeat it, they will raise it up, they will use it against you. So after some years, when I travel, I came to Lagos for business. So in the long run, she said that I can't continue with the relationship. It's a very, very big blow. After 5 years, I invested 5 years, my money, my time, everything. So, I was asking, what is the problem? She refused to open up, and I know that Mr. Hero is aware of it, So when I was, having emotional imbalance, I was going through all these things. So Hero asked me, Ross, what is the problem? I told him the problem. He said, you should let the girl go, that she's not the type, she's not the person that deserves you, But later on, the girl said that, why should you go and search my phone? She began to, bring out some things that I have forgotten. She was using it against me now. Say that I don't take, he was saying a lot of things, and that thing put fear inside of me. I say, if something that happened years ago, use it against me, is a very big problem. So all these things happen. And I was scared to enter into another relationship. I was scared to tell somebody that I love you, or I want to settle down with you. That drama is still affecting, my mindset, until I find another person. This is what is happening. So the person asked me, do you have any assets? So you can see the way our generation is coming up. She asked me, do you have any car? Do you have any house? Do you have all these things? So I say no. She said, this thing cannot continue. This is a challenge, I'm in a state of, trying to, hide it on myself. But I thank God that this kind of topic, where you have experienced people that has been in marriage, they have been able to, overcome some certain things, issues, that can help me, because it's a very big challenge to me. At the age of 42, I have not said, it's a very big challenge, because marriage is supposed to be, you have to have your wife, and you have to have that. There is a environment, that is why God created marriage. It's for a purpose. It's for a purpose. So that purpose, I need to find that purpose. I need to find who is my wife, because sometimes when we are in the relationship, we will see signs, but we ignore it. We will thinking that we are going to correct a woman or correct a man. So on the long run, we fell into the victim of, that can lead to us for divorce. So all these things are the things, the drama that's happened. So I suggest, or I want to appeal that if anybody can also, counsel me, because I need counsel, because all those things are affecting me, for me to look for a woman to settle down with, because there are a lot of things that are going on. If you meet somebody who begin to assess you, whether you have heaven and earth, understand? So all these things can also, affect somebody. So that is the reason why men can open up and talk when they have a good environment. So I think this is a good environment for, elderly or experienced persons to talk and advise somebody, so that he can also, learn from their mistakes and also apply it, because of the word. I don't know, Mr. Shola say that knowledge or understanding is very, very important. It's very, very crucial in marriage and relationship. So that's my take tonight. Understanding and knowledge.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to let Shola reply, but I just want to give you a little confidence that I didn't get married till I was 40. Yeah, and I have a beautiful wife and 3 kids now. So I wasn't far behind you. So that's just to give you a little bit of encouragement that the future is bright, and it can be bright, provided you you just forget about the past, the past that's not too good. Yeah. So Shola, over to you. You want to find out?
Yeah. Thanks again, Tony, for give a little bit of a roundup. Really appreciate Chinadu. What Chinadu has really opened up and been real and been very extremely vulnerable. And this is why we're here. This is what it's all about. Just like yourself, Tony. Okay, you got married at 40. I got married at 36. And so, you know, I just want to correct something. I think somebody said we've overcome. We haven't overcome, gentlemen. We are overcoming. It's a continuous process, I believe. Something again that Abiodun said I picked up on. He mentioned the word legal. When we're married, it's a legal contract. It's legal in the eyes of God. And I don't want to go on too much about it now, but it's a big point. It's a massive point, because anything then that's contrary to that legality, you understand? Anything that's contrary to that legality, it can be quashed. But it's not something that we can, again, we can't do this in our own human strivings. I'm going to go down the road of, as I said before, about spiritual intelligence now, yeah? This is something, again, where I think I said at the beginning of the platform that I find there's a kind of disconnect in terms of that area. And another word that's been flagged up, I can't remember who said it, either Biodo or Chinadu, mentioned the word purpose. You know, that's another massive area, you know, purpose in terms of, you know, who we are. What is our role on this earth? Yeah. What is our role in society? What is our role as men? What is our role in a relationship? What is our role as fathers? It's the understanding, again, of that particular purpose. Yeah. And so we can start to unpick these, you know, these areas over time, you know, be really intentional about it. Chino, so I just want to reach out to yourself again, just to congratulate you for what you've said and for how open you've been. I know you don't know me. We don't know each other. I'd like to just, you know, by God's grace, put myself forward. You know, if you've talked about, you know, some sort of help along the way, I'm available. I can go through Tony. You can contact Tony for my details if you feel the need. I'd like to just, you know, just be there for you, brother. Because, like I said, not because I know it all by a long shot. It's because we are in a process of overcoming, and we have years of this experience that now we can use to now give. You understand? To give. We're in the business now of giving. And so I just wanted to say that. But on a very personal note, I'll just say this bit, Tony. Again, I'm not trying to give Tony too much accolades, but I'll tell you what, as I said, I've known Tony over some years. We lost contact over time. But one thing I've noticed about this man, Tony, is that Tony doesn't just phone you or contact you for things because he wants something. Tony contacts you because he genuinely cares. And I'm saying that, guys, because I have had that personal experience. Yes, and I'm sure many of you have had the same thing. I just want to confirm that. And so I think that, again, that's a great platform to begin this business on, in the sense that if we can have trust and belief and confidence in a man like Tony, because we know that from the heart, he cares about people's well-being. You know, I think I just think it's onwards and upwards. So I just want to leave it there. I don't want to talk too much. I know we've spoken a lot tonight. I love talking to you guys. I hope we can continue this, and I hope we can see you again soon.
Greg, Shola, one thing. Greg, I know we haven't talked to you since you were driving. Do you want to say anything? I don't want to leave anyone out, because you know this is all about talking, isn't it? It's all about men talking. I don't want to leave one man out.
You. No. Sorry. Thank you so much, Mr. Tony. Thank you so much. This is absolutely instructive. I've learned a lot, especially when he said, I think the first speaker that said that you shouldn't really have to, when you say too much, it becomes a sign of weakness instead of a sign of strength. And I've also picked up what Abiodun also said. And I'm really, really grateful for this, and I would like to be on it for the long run. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you, Shola. Shola has been, we go back a long time. Like I said, those of you that don't know, Shola was my senior at school, and he was my prefect, who puts me in order whenever I was out of order. And now again, he's putting us in order again. Yeah. But we're here for you. It's not an easy road. Being a man is as we say, a lot has been given us to do. So we need to actually get it done. We fulfill it. We have a purpose, and we need to make sure we follow that. We actually fulfill that purpose in life. I think also what we haven't mentioned, there's so many things we haven't mentioned. So that means that we need to continue these calls. Yeah. We haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg of how your gut is linked to your mental health as a man. Yeah. And I think also we need to also question, why is it that men, especially black men, are dying before have a life expectancy is less than black women? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to be controversial here. Is it because they're cooking for you? I'm just being controversial, please. I'm just being controversial. It's not true, but I'm just saying you need to check. You need to start cooking for yourself. I'm only joking. But yeah. So I think on that note, thank you very much for coming on. Remember, it's about the game challenger. Yeah, we're challenging the game. The game that we're challenging is life, the game of life. And I think Shola has got Shola's on the Shola's Real Talk Mentors. That's also in this platform, the Real Talk Mentors. We're actually collaborating together to be able to make sure that we can service. And remember, like I say, look, this is a conversation that we're having that is not even business related. But do you know what the good thing about this? Even though it's not business related, by you being able to talk, you can do better in your business. You can do better in your work because you're offloading all these things and you're talking about them. So indirectly, it will help your business by talking or your work. Yeah. Shola, do you want to say anything more? Finish? Okay, so it's a wrap. So we'll let you know. Shola's reached out to Chinatu in terms of mentoring, in terms of helping, counseling. So please take that on board. If you need some more information about that, you can get in touch with myself or Hero, and then we'll pass Shola's number on to you. And then Joseph, I'd like to say thank you to everybody on the call. Thank you for Shola. Thank you for Yaya. Thank you for Joseph Edgar. Thank you for Beardle. Thank you for Chinatu. Thank you for Hero. Thank you for Greg. I know some people have been floating on and off. Charles was on at one point.